Hey guys, this is Mike with Hallucinations Creations, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up and get your air blaster working properly. These are awesome for great small startle scares, all the way up to our big mega blaster, which creates a bigger blaster. So we offer 3 different sizes. Think of it as a small, medium, and large. This is our small pop shot, then we have our large pop shot, and our mega blaster. The main difference on each of those is just the size of the storage tank. It uses the same dump valve with the mechanical valve up here. We also include check valves at all the inlets. The reason we do the check valve is so air only goes in one way and not out the other. So ideally, if you didn't have that, air could be pulling back out of the storage tank to an animatronic that's next to it that needs more of a demand, which is going to then make the air blaster not be as effective. So how we sell them, comes with a wired 2.1 millimeter lead, and you get a 1 amp power adapter. We also offer an option to get an Amanduo controller, which comes pre-wired with the pigtail connector, and also a diffused beam sensor. If you wanted to run this out of the box without a controller and sensor, there's a few ways you can do it. First, you would hook up your air. That gets the tank recharged here. So now we have air coming into the tank. Plug that connector up. And once I plug this in, this is going to be your standard electrical outlet. It's going to fire one time. After I unplug it, it's going to do a pop noise because that's refilling back that tank. So now air just shot back in, and there we go. And it shoots again. So the only way that this works is by plugging it into an outlet. Now you can pick up one of these remote controlled power adapters. Comes with your remote control and your outlet. This would plug into your outlet, and your power pack would plug into here. Now these can be found at big box stores, Lowe's, Home Depot, Amazon. This one I picked up at a local Menards store out here for $10, so fairly inexpensive. So this is going to be the cheapest way to get your air blaster working. And how that's going to work is you got that plugged in, you have your air hooked up, you hit the on button, and it blasts out. Off, recharges it. On, blasts out, off, recharges it. Now we only recommend using a system like this with the remote control button, because what it does is it turns that valve on and releases all of the air out of the storage tank. So you only ideally want to run one of these controller setups on a small pop shot or a large pop shot. Our Mega Blaster uses a 5-gallon storage tank, and that's going to take a lot of air out of your system because it's going to dump the entire 5 gallons out of it. Now we do also offer the option for the Amanduo controller. This is perfect for any air blaster we sell, our small pop shot, large pop shot, or Mega Blaster. And what this is going to do is trigger the valve to dump the air out by this beam sensor. So I'm going to unhook this. Now all of our valves do have a test button on them. It's a chrome little button right here. And if I push that in, it bypasses the electrical coil to test the valve to make sure that it's operational. So if you do get the controller and sensor option, still comes with the power adapter and the connector, but it has a male connector. So what we're going to do is hook that up. Now for testing purposes and programming, I always like unhooking the sensor. Your power adapter is then going to plug into the controller. We always have these plug and play ready to go, and they should have a quick 1 blast on them with a couple second delay. So we'll plug this in. Now to program this, really easy. We're going to hold down the record button, and we're going to hit the 1 button to blast it. Now we always like putting a couple second delay after, just so little kids, or you don't want to blast the same group, boom, 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 over and over again. So you can let it record with nothing activated, and that's going to be your delay. So let's hit the record. And there we go. Now we're waiting for our group to pass. And bam. So when you hold that record button down, once it turns red, that's going to act like somebody walked right in front of that sensor. And that ideally starts your scene or your show. You can play it back without a sensor by tapping the play/record red button one time. Now you can have it blast a couple times, however you want to do it, just by holding that down until it goes red, and then go boom, boom. Now you do have to keep in mind that each blast, ear's got to recharge that tank, so you might not be able to go as fast as you can, say on our large pop shot or Mega Blaster. Now I'm just going to redo it with a one shot, and we're going to hook our sensor up and get that hooked up. All right, so now we have our one shot set. Now how these sensors work, it doesn't detect motion like a standard PIR sensor. It detects something in front of it. So if you have a wall that's pretty close, you're going to have to adjust this top knob, the negative and the plus. Negative is going to be the shortest distance. So what we'll do, we'll leave that plugged in. And there we go. It blasted because it detected my hand. So I'm going to go in front of the sensor. Boom. Now let's see if this works. As I bring my hand closer, it's going to detect it. There we go. Now, that's only about 16 inches. If you want to go bigger, you would just turn this dial up to your liking. So now you can see I was way further away, and that worked. You ideally want to set that just so it doesn't hit the other side of the wall, because if you have any object in front of it, a prop, a wall panel, it's going to detect that something's in front of it, and it's going to set your air blaster off. So for this reason, I'll just set that to the lowest. And once I bring my hand in, boom, there we go. So that sums up the setup for the air blaster. All of the air blasters come with a 4-point mounting flange. Really easy to do. You could run some bolts or drywall screws directly into your wall panel. Of course, cut a hole out in the wall panel for where you want the air blaster to shoot out of. So this way, the storage tank and the mechanisms is hidden behind the wall panel. You can purchase these directly on our website at hallucinationscreations.com. Or any questions or anything like that, just shoot us an email. hallucinationscreations@gmail.com.